So as I said, we are a Web3 gaming studio and we are trying to build multiple games going ahead. I'll be talking about our first game. We are also closing our beta launch, and that's why we wanted to sort of take the stage and just hear people's opinions on what we are building and they think if it's interesting. So our first game, it's called Cricket Shots. So it's a cricket card collectible strategy game. So hey, yet another cricket game. That is what most people must be thinking. But we have identified some core problems in all of the cricket games, be Web2 or Web3, and we have been trying to solve them. So simply put, we are bored of the current Web3 cricket games and Web2 cricket games. There are specific reasons for it, so I'll go and share them. If you so if you think of traditional cricket games, the problem is that they give you no return of investment, and that's a very basic thing for any Web3 game to say. There's no money that people can earn. But secondly, there's no strategy involved in those games. Most of them are hyper casual, like you have to tap and swipe on the screen to hit something or to hit the ball at the right time, which gets boring pretty fast. So we wanted to add a strategy element to it. That was our main idea in solving for Web2 cricket games. And in Web3, we believe that most of them are just Web2 games with NFTs slapped on top, and there's no sustainable economics in those games. That's another thing we're trying to solve while building this Web3 game. So simply put, we're making a cricket game which is strategic, and people can play and earn, not play to earn. This is a small teaser of the game. Can you share the wall? To build for a high engagement model where strategy keeps people in the game for long terms, which is not there in most current sports games, and sustainable economics. That is like the two areas where we are focusing, like gameplay and tokenomics first. The game is set in the future where you have different factions like aliens, undead, robots, using which you can create your team. So imagine this like it's an intergalactic sports sort of a complex going on where people from different galaxies can be in your team. And you can collect cards. That is like the most basic thing. You have to build your own collection of different fungible tokens and NFTs in the game, using which you have to play a strategic cricket card game. So it will be a 3D game, but the idea is that you have to defend or attack your opponent based on what they are playing. So like a bowler could define their strategy. Like I want to play a spin which was going to hit the first leg at the good length on the pitch. And then the batsman can actually counter that by saying that, okay, now it's going to probably come as a bouncer. So I'll play something that will oppose that. So you need to understand the game a little bit. It's more about which factions of cricket you understand. So, So as you can see, there are stadiums as well. So the way I said it, we are actually trying to build a whole cricket economy. Is that you can be a stadium owner, you can be a player. If you own a stadium, you can actually earn rent whenever someone plays on a stadium. So a lot of things going on in the game. And back to the gameplay. You can then battle your opponents in a PvP strategic real-time gameplay, and you can also participate in different tournaments, leagues, and sort of go in different ranked and unranked competitions. This is a screenshot from the game. We're also trying to build a sustainable economy. We are part of the TechGrowX, the first cohort by TechGrow, and we are trying to build an economy that sort of should sustain in the long term. Obviously, time will tell, but we're trying to run different models to make sure that happens. And I'll just skip most of this, but the idea is that most Web3 games are just NFTs. We are trying to change that. So issue with just NFTs is that there is less liquidity in the market. Also, there's no high volume market transactions because NFTs people are not going to sell and buy daily. And another thing is that you can't match buy and sell orders that easily. So most of the assets in our game are fungible tokens, and only some very unique and rare items and land pieces, like stadiums, they are non-fungible. Everything else can be bought and sold. It's on-chain, but it's fungible. And this is like the main difference between the existing NFT games and the FT-based games that we are trying to build with the help of technologies. So these are three main things we're trying to solve, like the litmus test, the Web3 sustainable economy litmus test, where we are building predictable supply curves for most of the fungible tokens or assets inside the game, and people can actually see where it's going to go. They don't really need to worry if it's going to crash suddenly or not. And network difficulty obviously helps, and we are also working on a few other models where people can actually see which fungible token. We have multiple assets in the game. Is like the rarest or which one is the least rare. I mean, it's something that maybe I can talk to people offline after this. But this is just like a small idea. Then some NFTs that we have are special heroes, special characters, stadiums, which people can buy. So we're trying to aim this for three kinds of people: players, traders, and investors. So players can just play, grind. It's free to play, by the way, and you can earn the tokens. You can earn different fungible tokens and sell them on the marketplace, making it play and earn. But for investors, they can actually buy stadiums and other NFTs, which will actually yield them return because it is directly linked inside the gameplay. You don't need to just worry about if its price is going to go up or down based on market conditions. It's actually going to go up because people will be playing on your stadium. That is by default of the game that we are trying to build. So this is like the economy overview. We have 4 different game modes, and the first generation of games, zero generation, is NFTs only, and we are trying to build a complete service economy within the game where there will be a lot of other aspects going on. We're also building 2 communities, and one of it's called One Club. It's our gaming community where people can join, play different games. We host a lot of gaming events online and offline. And we're from Pune, by the way, and the Pune Web3 ecosystem is just starting to grow. And we saw a lot of white space in that area because not a lot of people in Pune got the opportunities in Web3 or did not sort of find the right community members. So we started Web3 in Pune as well. And Web3 Pune is actually one of the leading communities of Web3 now in Pune. And we've been doing a lot of offline and online events with hundreds of people part of the community. Me and Aditya, we started this last year as a Web2 gaming studio. We then transitioned to Web3. We got excited by the ideas of interoperability between games, obviously return of investment for users and all those other generic things everyone talks about. But both of us just wanted to build something in the gaming and blockchain Web3 space. I'm a second-time founder. I was building like a services company before this, so not really a startup, but like a small business. And both of us have been building for some time. Whole team is from Pune, and all of us are from the same college currently. And we have raised a lot of grants. So we raised Startup India, then from AIC Fintech, Startup India Seed Fund grant, then grant from Believe DAO, Mighty, and a few other Tegro grant. We also raised recently, like a couple months ago, and we are currently working on raising our seed round. And also won multiple competitions of Cricket Australia, then the Global Student Entrepreneur Awards, Young Founders Forum by Hurdle. And right now we are actually just getting ready to launch a closed beta by end of this month. So you can go to cricketshots.com and you can pre-register. You will get early access by end of this month. And next month we are launching an open beta for everyone interested. Thank you so much. So how does this work? Questions? Or?
Hi, thanks for the pitch. I was just wondering what blockchain are you based on?
Also, we are deploying on Polygon.
Polygon. Okay.
So you said that players would play your game in stadiums, right? Does this mean that there has to be available stadiums to play your game, and don't you think that would maybe limit the number of people who could play, or and if there's a lot of stadiums, then won't the value for investors go down? So how are you looking to kind of balance that stadium number?
Right. So in the beginning, we were facing the same question, and the idea was very simple: that one stadium can host one match, like it is in real life. But that is not something that worked out. So now stadiums don't have an ongoing match capacity, like no limit. So multiple matches can keep on going on one stadium, and the matchmaking decides which match we want to connect on which stadium. And let's say you are an investor, you want to buy land first to build a stadium. The land we unlock at different intervals. So it's not like the whole land is available for you on day one. So only some parcels of land will be available today, some after 2 months. So based on that, based on the airdrops, you have to then build and buy. Then secondly, each stadium that you can build has different types. So you can build a stadium that can host alien type matches, or you can build a stadium that can host human type matches. So it's up to you to see that what the market is demanding. Are there more human meta decks, or are there more alien decks going on in the market? Based on that, you can build that stadium or buy that stadium. It will get more value because the rent will go up on those stadiums, and you can then even rebuild it by changing the faction of the stadium, or you can just sell it off later on to someone. So that is something that we are trying to do.
Yeah, and just one follow-up question. To play the game, that means you need to build a deck, or can you play with one NFT? How is the game played?
So you have to build a deck, but when you join the game, you get the very first asset. Let's call it A1 for free by playing different test matches. And then there are a concept of barracks or training centers. You can generate A2s, which are our cards, using the A1. So A2s are not NFTs. So most of our cards, they are not NFTs, they are fungible tokens. So that way we see that it will give more liquidity to players on the marketplace, because if you want to actually buy and sell cards, you will have a more solid sort of a roadmap for you to buy and sell those cards. And they are not NFTs, only the stadiums are NFTs. So in the beginning, you can just play for free. You just need to put in time to generate the A1 asset, which can then be burned to mint A2. A2 is our cards, and A2s you can then use in a game.
Okay, so last follow-up question. Basically, you're giving fees to the stadium people, and since it's free to play, basically I can come in and someone else can come in and we can play, and whoever wins would get tokens, right? And I'm guessing that the stadium people would also be airdrop tokens. So this part is kind of creating inflation. So what are your thoughts on kind of balancing out that inflation? How are you planning to balance it out?
So we are running models for that to make sure that it doesn't happen. Obviously, it might in the future. But the way it works that there are two kinds of matches that can happen. One is training grounds. So there are net matches, like in real life, you play nets, and then you have stadiums. So new accounts, they can only play on nets. They can't play on stadiums until they have reached a particular level in the game. And only then they start playing on stadiums. Also, for every time they want to play, they need to burn the token to enter. So let's say our utility token, you need to pay 10 of it, for example, to play a match. Each person plays 10 of each, and then out of that, the winner and the stadium owner, both of them get output.
Just one last question. Are people playing each other in real time, or is this?
Yeah, they will play each other in real time. So the way it works is actually, so imagine that you are a team manager and your team is playing in front of you. You have to give them instructions. So as I said, different cards and different strategies. So you can send out a bowler. You can tell the bowler how do you want to throw the ball, what pace, what swing, and the opponent can see it in real time. And then based on that, they have to react. There's a mana system as well. So you have a mana bar at the bottom, and using the mana bar, you can then play the kinds of cards you have got in your deck. So it's a real-time PvP strategy game, action-reaction based.
So you guys are launching beta next week, right?
A closed beta this month end for people to just try it out, and then next month we'll do open beta. So basically what we're doing is we're building two versions. Like one is the game engine version, one is a simple version which we can iterate on faster. That one we are just giving out to people to test and try out. Then we can get the feedback.
So how are you finding those users? How are you acquiring them?
So we have a good college community because all of us are in college, so we have a good college network. Even last week actually, we just set up a huge poster outside our college which just said game reveal and a big QR code. I'll see if I can show it to you, but maybe after this I can show it to you. But the idea is that we just put up a poster with a QR and game reveal. We got over 700 registrations. Not even 100 sort of actually, because the conversion sort of it has happened, but we got a lot of people to just come, even though it was like a very random event posted on a college billboard outside the college. So that is one of our main go-to-market sort of a community. Apart from that, we are building our own Web3 included community and heading a lot of events. So
for example, I know cricket. This thing is very complicated for me to play. Right? So your target audience, right? You said that you're going to go to college students. So you're going to educate them about this too, right?
Right.
So do you have any plan for that in future? Because after close beta, you need that.
Right. So I mean, one of the things we are actually doing for that is we are trying to make the game simpler, and then we'll be adding complexity a little later. Unfortunately, I don't have a demo version which I can show on screen right now, but after this maybe we can, or then I can show it to you. But the game is not actually that complex. With a good tutorial and a good first time user time experience, you can actually figure out the gameplay very easily. And the way it's designed is you don't need to have that kind of a cricket background as well. So even if you're playing a random war game, it'll have things like fireball, X word, Y word. It'll take some time, but you can still learn it within the game. You don't need to know cricket previously, like beforehand.
Cool. So what's the roadmap? where we will go with this in the next 6 months.
Okay, so next month, as I said, we are launching a beta, and we want to take feedback, and then based on that, we want to continue building. So this is like the 6th version of our game. We have scrapped 5 versions before this. The idea has always been the same. We want to have a good gameplay and good
Did
toponomy.
we get users into those 5 versions?
Two of them. I mean, 2 of them had around 1,000 or so users trying it out. A few others didn't have any users because we internally could see that it's not going to work out. So that is what we've been trying to do. Because the problem with cricket is that you can't have a very active reactive game which is more strategic. Because then it gets complex, which is a problem for getting more users onboarded. And secondly, it's also kind of unnatural for cricket fans to play a different kind of cricket game.
Isn't that a problem which we created by choosing cricket?
Yeah, so we did do that, but that's what we have solved now. So this gameplay version, we believe, has solved all of those problems. It's now a very simple but still a realistic cricket game, which is strategic, which is very unlike any other cricket game. So this version, if it works in the first 1 or 2 months, then we'll continue building, or we have a few backup gameplays we are working on.
If not,
continue. Yeah.
Pivot to other variations.
Yeah. And obviously, like worst case scenario, we just pivot to a different game, but I don't see that happening.
So you had 3 target audience, which I remember: investors, players, and
Oh yeah, so traders.
traders.
Yeah.
Right? So with this beta launch, which you said you're going to go through colleges,
Yeah.
you're going to mostly get
Players.
Correct. So that is a phase 1, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Then you will go for investors or traders, which is a phase
Both.
2. Phase 3.
So basically, phase 1 is players. When players start generating the assets inside the game, that is when the traders can actually come in. So we don't need to have a separate phase for traders. After one point, traders can automatically start coming in. And then probably first quarter of next year, we'll be launching the version for investors when they can come and buy lands. For now, the beta version, no one can buy land at stadiums. It's just us who own the land. We won't be getting any rent out of it right now. But it's just a stadium where people can come and play. That won't be something which will be live in the game.
And I'm assuming obviously you connect a lot and play through that. Right?
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Thank you so much.